Welcome back to the Senior Health Podcast, where we help you flourish after 60 by fusing traditional knowledge with cutting-edge research. Today, we're concentrating on a nighttime habit that has the potential to have a profound effect on the brain, one that many people ignore. We've asked a very special guest, who isn't really that special anymore because he's always here, to investigate this. Shigeaki Hinohara, the oldest active physician in Japan. He is here to explain a nightly routine that could help you maintain your mental clarity, especially after 60. He is over 100 years old, still smart, and a national treasure in Japan. Once more, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara. Welcome. Thank you for coming, Doctor. I am aware that you think how we end the day affects how we behave the next day. Tell us then, what is the one item that individuals over 60 should never forget before turning in for the night? I appreciate you having me. Indeed, while we sleep, the brain does not shut off. Actually, there are quite precise ways in which it becomes more active. The brain starts a very intricate process while the body is at rest. It organizes memories, eliminates toxins, filters through the events of the day, and repairs its neural connections. But one thing is necessary for all of this to happen: getting ready. The brain needs the surroundings and resources it must carry out its duties, and you're not simply missing a step if you go to bed without giving that. The brain's ability to regenerate is being starved by you. The accumulation of this carelessness is night after night. No amount of coffee can cure the fogginess, forgetfulness, and mental exhaustion it causes. Never go to sleep without first prepping your brain for healing. It's easy, but it's crucial. Brain starvation. We're not taught that in the West, but it's powerful. The majority of us think of famine as physical hunger, but what you're describing is much more deadly and subtle. It's about depriving the brain of the resources it needs to restore itself, particularly at night when it is most active. My own grandfather, who had always been intelligent, started losing things and forgetting names all of a sudden. No one ever thought to ask him what he was eating at night or if he was eating at all. How can actual cognitive impairment result from this type of nighttime neglect? Imagine the brain as a library that dusts the shelves, fixes old books, and files new ones as you sleep. But the librarian needs electricity, light, and equipment to do all that job. The system won't receive any nutrition or safety signals if you starve it. The brain then enters emergency mode rather than filing. It only tries to make it through the night without doing any in-depth research. Allow me to illustrate. Mr. Yamamoto, a 74-year-old retired school principal, was one of my patients. He was a very orderly man. He complained to me of continuous forgetfulness. Not dementia, but minor things like losing keys, forgetting names, and entering a room without remembering why. He informed me that, in accordance with some Western weight loss recommendations, he had stopped eating anything after 6 p.m. However, he was unaware that his brain was going into an 8-hour fast, particularly in later years, with nothing to sustain it. No protein, no calming nutrients, just stress and sleep. Everything started to change when I urged him to try a simple ritual, like stretching and deep breathing, or even just consuming some warm tofu soup before bed. He regained his morning clarity in a few weeks. His wife claimed that he appeared more present and that he was able to concentrate and remember things better. That's what I mean when I talk about starving the brain, not just the stomach, but the neural system as well. A yearning for rhythm, support, and silent power. Thus, we're discussing more than just a snack. We are discussing a signal, or message, that is transmitted to the brain that informs it that you are now secure. Time for restoration. It's similar to turning off the lights at a concert to signal to the brain that the performance is ended and that the cleanup, reset, and healing process will begin. Additionally, the brain does not relax if that signal is absent. Instead of rebuilding, it continues to scan and remain protected. While it is true that in Japan, eating at night is seen as a form of instruction, the entire custom serves as a signal. The rhythm of a little routine, the gentleness of the light, and the slowness of the breath. The limbic system of the brain, which controls emotions, memory, and survival, is triggered by these cues. The brain switches to alertness in the absence of these signals. It frequently wakes you up around 2 or 3 in the morning, disoriented and sleep-deprived. It remains half awake, half defensive. This is supported by science. Regular pre-sleep rituals have been shown to reduce cortisol, normalize heart rate variability, and increase parasympathetic activity, all of which foster the perfect conditions for brain repair and memory consolidation. Since many seniors in the United States are advised to refrain from eating at night, let's examine that. However, you claim that picking the correct food is more important than skipping meals. That's right. Blood flow slows, hormones change, the brain becomes more sensitive, and, most importantly, your body enters catabolism more quickly around the age of 60. This indicates that during periods of fasting, it begins to break down tissue, including brain tissue, in order to produce energy. What would happen then if you went to bed without eating? We're running low on fuel, the brain tells us. And it protects rather than heals. It saves power rather than retaining memories. This pattern wears you down night after night. And although you don't notice it right away, it gradually becomes your new normal. That's amazing. What sort of fuel are we discussing then? What should a person over 60 consume to safeguard their brain before bed? And is consuming a little snack the only part of the ritual? Or is there more? What constitutes a nightly ritual that is genuinely holistic and influenced by Japanese culture? One that nourishes the heart and spirit in addition to the body? Consider it a gentle reminder to the brain. Calm minerals, light protein, and mild energy. This might be a little bowl of warm miso broth with tofu in Japan. Miso is good for the stomach. The tofu provides amino acids that assist the brain. The nervous system is calmed by the warmth. A soft-boiled egg served with steaming veggies is an additional excellent choice. Or a little ginger-cooked white fish. Not cold, not heavy, simply warm, clean, and easily digestible. Anything processed, cold foods, and sugars should be avoided. The natural rhythm of the body is confused by these. It makes perfect sense. And that truly gets me to thinking about how many seniors aren't even thinking about this. However, you mentioned there was more. Something other than food. Yes, I was about to explain it just now. We refer to the Japanese method as shin ichinyo, the coherence of body and mind. Thus, the kitchen is just one part of the ritual. We support a completely peaceful atmosphere. This entails shutting off screens at least half an hour before bed. Blue light keeps the brain in daylight mode and interferes with the generation of melatonin. Alternatively, we may open a window to let in some fresh air or light a candle. We slow down the domestic rhythm. The mind can be gently prepared for sleep even by reading a physical book, particularly one that is spiritual or poetic. You also incorporate breathing exercises into this, correct? Indeed, breathing is also essential. We work on our hara breathing. Breathe deeply and slowly into your abdomen, making sure to exhale more slowly than you inhale. This can trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, which lowers cortisol and slows the heart rate in as little as 5 minutes. The brain receives a clear message. It's time to let go. You can create a whole sensory experience by adding a soothing herbal tea or simply composing a brief list of appreciation. One that softly transitions the brain into its repair state at night. I adore that. A list of thanks. Thank you. The science behind it is vast, despite the word's modest size. Gratitude improves memory recall, reduces depression, and improves sleep quality, according to studies. It's as though recognizing the positive aspects of your life sets off a chemical chain reaction that facilitates deeper brain release, reset, and restoration. That's right. This goes beyond philosophy. People who wrote down 3 things for which they were thankful before going to bed reported feeling more rested and sleeping longer, according to a study published in the journal Applied Psychology, Health and Well-Being. Regular thankfulness practice was associated with better sleep, reduced blood pressure, and even higher immune function, according to another UC Davis study. The brain perceives less danger when one is grateful. It stimulates prefrontal brain regions linked to composure and emotional control. Thus, it's more than just a sensation. It's medication. You also made several references to rhythm. Could you explain why timing is even more important than nutrients? Because food, hearing, and light all trigger the brain to go through cycles. Your brain remains active if you overstimulate before bed, eat wildly, and sleep abnormally. However, your body gets the message when you consume concurrently with deep breathing, gentle stretching, and stretching. Restoring it is safe. This leads us to movement. I am aware that you do more than just suggest food. You also suggest a ritual that is performed physically. How should that appear? Yes, movement comes before nourishment, but not stress nor exercise. I'm talking about attentive, gentle movement. 5 minutes is sufficient. Start with a forward fold, followed by shoulder circles and neck rolls. Lastly, take a seat and take a breath. Every motion ought to be an invitation to relax. The reason this works is straightforward. Blood flow is increased by gentle movement. The sympathetic nervous system is calmed by it. The repair mode is activated. And the brain takes it in like a sponge when you follow it up with food. You're providing the necessary resources for your mind to rebuild, store, and clean. Thus, the order is important. Activity followed by sustenance. Not the reverse? That's right. The stage is set by movement. The offering is food. When combined, they inform your brain that the day is over. Start the healing process. What about those who claim that eating at night causes them to have heartburn or interferes with their sleep? That frequently indicates the incorrect cuisine or cadence. You will suffer if you eat a big dinner late at night, but a tiny amount of warm liquid is therapeutic. Fermented foods such as miso or a little spoonful of pickled plum can aid if digestion is weak. The gut is supported by them. The chemistry of your brain is also regulated by your gut. And how specifically does this habit help with memory? Because many people over 60 have serious concerns about that. They fear they may become less acute. I constantly hear that. I can't recall my glasses' whereabouts. Or I've become more prone to forgetting names. It instills terror and a sensation that something permanent is taking place. However, your method implies that memory loss is more than just a passing trend. We have the ability to actively nurture and safeguard it. Sleep is the time when memory is formed. Not just any sleep, though. Steady, deep sleep. And only when your brain chemistry, stress levels, and blood sugar are all in harmony does that occur. That is precisely what the midnight ritual we are talking about accomplishes. It maintains steady blood sugar levels. It lowers cortisol levels. Neurotransmitters that encourage relaxation and memory consolidation, such as serotonin and GABA, are supported by it. That fundamentally alters our perspective on aging. We presume that memory loss happens on its own. But you're implying that it's frequently simply undernourished? Indeed, the brain is not brittle. It's ravenous. It's thirsty. It has a beat. And we age more quickly than we ought to when we lose sight of that. But even at 90, the mind may remain sharp if we give it the right food. Walk slowly and get enough sleep. I've witnessed it. I've experienced it. How about drinks? Do you have any recommendations for drinks? Or ones to stay away from? Steer clear of anything caffeinated, sweet, or chilly. Not a soda. Don't drink. No late-night green tea. Drink something soothing and warm instead. Tea with chamomile. A little golden milk or warm barley water. Almond milk with black pepper and turmeric. These calm the stomach and get the brain ready. And what's the easiest routine someone can start with if they're just starting tonight? Bring water to a boil. Add a spoonful of miso and stir. Add some soft tofu pieces. Take a seat, take a breath. Take a sip slowly. After that, spend 5 minutes stretching. Shake your shoulders. Drop your head forward. Feel your toes. Additionally, say this quietly. I get my mind ready for clarity. Next, list 3 minor blessings for which you are thankful, even if it's only a grin, a good book, or warm socks. This silent deed brings tranquility to the day and aids in storing the appropriate memories in the mind. It communicates to the brain that I choose to worry less and rest abundantly. It's feasible because it's lovely and straightforward. This feels kind, like an offering to yourself, yet I believe that many of our listeners feel overloaded with health advice. That's the secret. It's not about forcing to age well. It all comes down to gentle strength, rhythm, and consistency. I appreciate you sharing this, Doctor. It's more than just guidance. This is an invitation to conclude the day with purpose and to provide the brain with what it truly needs, rather than what we might think it needs. Yes, and I'll leave you with this for everyone who is listening. Neglect is what causes memory loss, not aging. Remember to nourish and soothe your mind before bed, and it will remember you. As usual, great advice to wrap up this session. We are grateful to you, listeners. Please use the link in the video description to subscribe or make a little payment if you also appreciate us.